The riots broke out the day that we landed in LA, and it was an extraordinary feeling. It was an extraordinary feeling because we really felt for the first time at the nub of life's actualities at a very different level than we'd been before. And it felt nothing less than a prison riot here. It really felt as though people had just been cooped up, had been imprisoned innocently, and were like just not willing to be abused in that fashion anymore, even if it meant breaking all social and moral codes, because there was nothing else to lose anyway. What the hell? I think what it was that we both latched onto when we were talking is that there was something happening yet again to both dance music and popular music. There was a certain kind of formula creeping back into everything. And it's at those points you really want to try and break things open again. And we had this idea that there were certain elements of dance and R&B that we really liked. We had some ideas of throwing experimental stuff into that format.
Burning up each other's love, burning up our lives. Tried all kinds of working a miracle good night. Future full of empty, knocking on the door. Ragged linen and hunger, mama, miracle no more.
Oh, it's hard to take Niall out of a dance, man. I mean, he's totally into, he does all the clubs. He still does all the clubs. It's amazing. He'll finish a session and go off into the night. And then we'll see him the next day. And he's done 8 clubs. I don't know where he gets the stamina.
Miracle good night, turn it around, make it alright. Nobody dancing, it was only me.
I wish there was a sailor.
You know, when David and I talk, half of the time we get in these elaborate discussions about just different musical cultures and different sources of the music, different origins of the music before we even do anything. And because of his broad musical background and the type and the taste that he has, I know that it's going to be very, very exciting for me as a musician, but at the same time that there is a point of view. I mean, we are going someplace.
Yeah, we could get a better second half. If left to my own devices, I would really go off at a tangent, and Niall can bring things back in a very sort of in a form that people will sort of assimilate easily.
But also, you got to remember to not compromise the artistic integrity.
I really get kind of indulgent, and Niall is very good at making it more accessible.
There's definitely never a dull moment. I know that he's always going to surprise me. When David comes in with a song, no matter how simple the motif, I know that in his head somewhere, there's a myriad of unbelievable ideas.
Still I keep my love for you. No place to hide, no way to fall. Nowhere to lie, no worlds are wide. I'm sick and tired of telling you, don't let me down and down and down. Don't let me down and down and down.
If you're lucky enough, like myself, to be in a profession that really was a chosen profession, and that was something that ever since youth had been the only thing that I wanted to be involved, well, other than maybe painting, the only thing that I wanted to be involved with. It really is a luxury, and there's a deep sense of fulfillment when something artistically really works, and you've shocked yourself, you've surprised yourself, which for me is really a priority in working and writing and recording. That if this kind of magic electric spark happens, then I thought that's been a really good day. And I love to see it in other musicians as well, if I can encourage them to work in a way that maybe they haven't worked before, and throw a loop on them, that they have to approach a piece of music from a different way to maybe the way they usually work. And if they get quite surprised and excited about it, that's a real, I like that. That's good.
And then just
I don't know where that is.
right where you're coming in.
It's the first real time that we've worked together in almost 20 years. We sort of kept track of each other through the years, though. Every time I go on tour, Mick turns up somewhere along the line and comes and guests on the show. And I asked him if he would come for old time's sake and work on a song that we both liked very much, which was the Cream's I Feel Free. And he said he'd be delighted to do that. And, he came along and played his usual breathtaking solo. I mean, what you require from the solo player, unless you're a complete control freak, is you want somebody to interpret what they're hearing in their own way, and that gives the song a character of its own, and that's where it really becomes a collaboration. It's sort of like a lilting take on Hendrix style guitar, and he was an absolute delight. I mean, I've never worked with him before. He came straight from the show, I think. I think he flew straight in from the show in Vancouver. He's very, very tired when he got in, but he worked really hard.
He was in the hotel room watching TV, and he saw I don't much music, Music Plus, thanks to you guys. And one of our videos was on Midnight Blues, and he apparently liked it a lot and came to Toronto like in this heave saying, "Who is this wild tiger? I gotta meet him, and blah, blah, blah. We got down to New York on Sunday and went into the studio, and David was there with Nile Rodgers and Mick Ronson. And I was kind of intimidated because Mick Ronson was playing, and I'm saying, "Mick Ronson?" Ah! And then he was finished, and it's like, "Okay, your turn, T." And so I got in there, and I thought, well, let me just do what I do, you know. And I asked them, they wanted me to do a solo on one little part of the song. It's called "I Know It Will Happen." That's the name of the song. So I asked them to just like loop it, and I was outside in the thing over there with my guitar, just playing and practice and getting used to the chords and stuff. And after about 20 minutes, I signaled to them, "Okay, let's do a take now, guys. I'm ready. And they say, "Okay, just come in here for a second." So I came into the booth and they started playing the song for me. They were taping me all the time, and they says, "We got everything we need here, guys." So I'm going, wait a minute.
Four more. We've got four more.
No, believe me, we got the stuff there. Yeah, absolutely positive. One of the major differences in the way that we're working this time, possibly because we're older, is that I think the sessions and the things that we do talk about are a lot more informed by our personal lives this time around than they were the last time around. In the early 80s, I think we were more sort of hip to that sounds were very much almost the entire substance of our life and the music itself. I think in the 10 years subsequently, one's sort of grown and matured a bit more, and one's personal life starts to mean a lot more to oneself. And I think those things come up, and that starts being reflected in the music. It certainly has an impact on the music.
Striped with blood and embraced